Erev Tov, Rabbi Prague.
Tomorrow is Shabbat of Tammuz. Shabbat of Tammuz is the walls of Yerushalayim were broken. And by Tisha B'Av, this is the beginning of the three weeks. And we read the Rambam. We read the Rambam a few times. You can hear me, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We read the Rambam a few times. The purpose of every fast is to rethink the event, yes? Why? And perhaps, by improving it, you think about it more than ever, yes, more than ever. The condition of the Jewish people in the world is not good in general, yes. So this morning we saw the Gemara in Masechet Baba Kama, page 117, how Rav Kahana didn't mean to cause any pain to Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan thought that Rav Kahana is smiling because Rav Kahana was asking serious questions. So, because he had Chalishut Adat, Rabbi Yochanan, Rav Kahana died. But this is really the question. We saw them this morning in the class in the morning. Now sometimes people will tell, oh, you are from Turkey. This is a Sfarah from Turkey. Or you are a Halabi, you are a Lebanese, you are an Israeli, you are a... So for instance, the person that, we pointed out, we said, I don't mind. Very often people say so. In many social gatherings today, we're used to, unfortunately, we are used to, because of social media, that people crack jokes, and they don't mean to humiliate. But very often, the person is humiliated. The Gemara says that I forgot the name of the Amora. One of the great Amoraim had a student that was very actively participating always in the shiurim of the yeshiva. As you know, in the time of the Gemara, there was a Shabbat de Rigla. And the regel, or the beginning of Elul, everyone from the neighborhood came to the classes. The student kept quiet. And the rabbi praised him very much. Why did he praise him very much? Exactly for that reason, yes. We have a class together and someone is asking a good question. Everyone understands that if the rabbi doesn't have the answer, the question is a very good answer. He doesn't put the rabbi down. This is the nature of learning. You say what you have to say, I say what I have to say. But when other people are coming for them, oh, look at this, the rabbi didn't know the answer. But you have to be it's not weird. We have to be trained from a young age. In every situation, Yeah, I'll give you a very very practical example. Somehow over the weekend, I come back to my one of the rooms. There's no electricity. A few random places in the house. Okay, we call up the electrician, checks it. He says, we really have to go from outlet to outlet. Meantime, my wife whispers to me, she remembers that this electrician's wife is very sick. She doesn't know if she's alive or not. She doesn't know. Should she ask him or not? What would you say? Now, what would you say? I'm not sure. Last time the electrician was years ago. His wife was sick. Is it better not to ask? Because maybe she's not alive. But the fact that you're asking shows him that you remember, and you care, and you ask. She didn't feel comfortable asking. I said, Mr. So-and-so, how is your wife doing? Says, you remember? No, to be honest, I told her my wife remembered. Okay, and 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, he was talking about his wife. The fact that you show someone that we're interested in you is discussing. Very often, we're not saying anything because we feel uncomfortable. How would the person react? How would he feel? This is what Shiva Sabbath Tammuz and days like this are about. Every day we are at home with our wives, in the office with the workers, in shul with the people. And at our age, we know people react differently in different situations. To really think this is Be'emet. It's a life's work, but the only way we can do it is if we are trained and we realize that this is what the Torah really wants us to do. So someone asked me, listen to this. 2 young men, children of successful men, both went to Columbia Law, they're both lawyers. So he says, so what's the point of learning Gemara? So let's learn Pirkei Avot. Okay, Pirkei Avot on a high level, yes. Let's learn Pirkei Avot, finish. Salim, what's the answer? Why should we learn Gemara if it's a serious question, especially us, that we don't have time to learn so much, yes? Answer is without real Torah Sheba'al Peh, our bodies cannot be refined, yes? You go into a doctor, he gives you medicine, and the doctor tells you have to, this medicine works only if you do exercise also. So the medicine is what cures. Now, why is it so important that the Ben Adam L'Chavaro is essential? But of course, it's essential. But as I know and you know, there were many movements in the world, Jewish or not, socialism, communism, they took. The flag was, equal to each other. Nothing was left. Why is that? The original kibbutzim in Israel, right, were established. No one owns anything. Everyone is for everyone, and everyone is for. Yeah? Today, all the big guest houses, all the human beings are selfish. Human beings are competitive. The trick is to take the selfishness in the positive direction. Right? It's very difficult. You want to make money just for yourself or to enjoy and share it with other people. לא יכול להיות, אני ללמוד גמרא, לא יכול להיות. Because ego and selfishness are negative if they are not being controlled or refined or directed in the right. Now, did you ever read Tolstoy's two big books, War and Peace?
No, you have the wrong. You have the wrong Malitsky.
I mean, you read.
Thank God. He's read them because I remember as a young man I asked him and I joked and he said, "Yeah, oh sure I read it."
No, but he was Tolstoy. He spoke about caring for others. It's known. It has a landowner. He was not treating his workers the best way. Again, does it mean I have to share everything I have with my workers? The answer is no. They have to do what they have to do. But the language, the way they are being treated, the way they are. I read that a young, very motivated young Orthodox rabbi, Be'emet, I forgot the name, he became a rabbi of a city about 60 miles of Toronto. This is like, I guess, 19, I don't know. And he realizes there is a huge, beautiful, big, reformed temple, many members. And he opened the Orthodox shul, a small shul. And he realized if he wants really to attract people, he needs a shul. Build a shul, you need money. To have money, you need a Rebbe team that can afford it. He decided he goes to the bank, you hear? The bank. And he's going to ask for a loan of $150,000. But he's not going to reveal right away that he belongs to the Orthodox community. His affiliation is Orthodox. And he comes to the head of the bank, he tells him his plans. After a few minutes, the head of the bank says, Rabbi, what's your affiliation? Reform, conservative, Orthodox. So the rabbi thought to himself, he told the story later, this is the end of my loan. He says, I'm an Orthodox rabbi. He says, Orthodox? Approved. Approved. He says, why? This is a goy. Says to him, when I was young, my father was killed in a freak accident. Remember, this is before the social services, this is before social security. Because here it is, my mother is left alone, a widow with 3 kids. 3 kids were young, 9, 10. My mother had a job, but there's no way she really didn't know what to do. Because after a few days, someone is knocking on the door. The man that was knocking on the door says, my name is so-and-so. I own, remember the older time, you used to have a big, like today, you had a big store. You could buy whatever you want, clothes, clothing, food. The biggest store in town. Says, I heard that you lost your husband. I'm sure that you have Financial strength. Anytime you need anything for your family, come to my store. Take what you need, pay as much as you can. Says to him, just do it. Here, the head of the bank says, I was one of the 3 kids. And the guy told my mother, I'm doing it because I'm an Orthodox Jew. And I heard about your tragedy, and it touched me. Here he is, here, years later, an Orthodox rabbi is getting a loan. Normally would never get it because he didn't have really the strongest chance to. No, but this is it. The man understood this is what you have to do. If you read carefully, Tanakh, if you read between the lines, this is what Shiva Sabbath Tammuz is about. What does Sinat Chinam mean? Because if someone really insulted me, I really fire back. Why is it Chinam? Not Chinam, he did something to me. The answer is Chinam means you got it because you have to get it. Everything that happens happens because it's supposed to be. Of course, the guy that is a bully, and he should be punished. But don't think that he did it to you. You got it because you
deserved it. I got it.
No, but it's easy to say, especially if I could bring you some stories, which is very few. But this is the reality. Now, of course, this can drive you crazy. The answer is we have to be normal people. Normal people. But look carefully in every shul, in every community, in every office. Human beings, men like to feel that they are the bosses of their business at least. Sometimes they like to feel they are the bosses of their house. And if you think like that, it creates a lot of friction. I saw once a beautiful Torah. Listen to this. Hashem created on the 4th day of creation at Shnei HaMeorot HaGedolim, the 2 big, large luminaries. את המאור הגדול לממשלת היום, yes? ויברא אלוקים את 2 המאורות הגדולים. The Torah labels them as 2 large luminaries. The next pasuk, את המאור הגדול, the big one, לממשלת היום, the sun, ואת המאור הקטן לממשלת הלילה. A minute ago you said שניהם גדולים. Everyone knows, Rashi brings that the moon came with a complaint. He says to Hashem, it's impossible the 2 kings would sell. Each king has his own crown. Impossible. Hashem says to the moon, you suggested it. You are becoming the little one. Here's the question. The question is, did the moon do anything wrong? I mean, in reality, Miko and your family, you cannot have 2 kings running the show. You know your role, your wife knows my role. First, in my house, it should be the same, but here and there I have what to say in places that is not my business. Understand? This is
It all depends on what the subject is, Rabbi.
okay.
That's basically what it boils down to.
So what? in general, give us a general prescription.
Well, when it comes to the house things like food, cooking, all that, that's her department. I don't ask questions. Comes to finances, it's me. That's how it works.
Ricky, you agree with you gave us a simple prescription. You can write a book on that. It is one-page rule. Will sell millions of dollars. Says the Gemara in Masechet Bava Metzia, here it is. When it comes to materialistic topics, your wife. When it comes to more spiritual, it's you. But you realize the Gemara understood that everyone, as Miko just said it, the wife wants to feel the boss of the kitchen. She's 100% right. Which way to decorate the house? Certainly the way. But there are certain things. See, if you really take it as a guideline, there'll never be a collision. Yes. I'm asking now a practical question. Maybe this is you're the person, okay? And my wife has guests this Friday night. We have many guests. She prepares a 7-course meal. Okay? So I make kiddush, wash, Ashkenazim eat fish and salad. Of course, fish and salad in the fresh chali, different types of chali fine. Then my wife likes to serve always soup. This is an Ashkenazi custom, soup. Then you have 3 types of meat, 2 types of chicken, 5 types of side dishes. I tell my wife always, and I'm stupid enough to still say it, serve the soup at the end. Because if you serve the soup in the beginning, people will not be able to enjoy the meat and the side dishes as much because you're full of it. I remember Friday night, everyone is hungry. The challah is delicious. Salads and different types of appetizers are at the table. I should have been quiet 25 years ago, but last Shabbos I said it again. The answer is?
You're never going to win, Rabbi.
No, the answer is we don't think. This is not my department.
Exactly.
No, but I think to myself after 1800 times, maybe this time miracles will happen.
Never.
No.
Never. I'm sorry.
No, the answer is that she is right. It's not my business to say. She has to suggest it. Most people take. Some people, including myself, don't take it. Fine. What's the point of saying it? You have to learn. But you understand, friction in a business is if 2 people have the same powers. I have this idea, but if you are in charge of ABC, you are in charge of. But the bottom line, it boils down to one and only idea is ego. I told you many times, but I read it today again. So I have, in the summer, I do a review on many books I already read. Yes. From Zalman Auerbach was married 53 or 54 years. At the funeral of his wife, and remember in Israel, the body is not in a casket, the body is on a stretcher, covered. And he says it's customary to ask forgiveness. But can you imagine? I wasn't there, but I read it. Rav Yehuda Hades, who was a very close disciple of the Rabbi, he says, God is my witness. Yes, can you hear this? God is my witness. They have nothing to ask forgiveness for. Rav Hades, who writes it, says everyone that heard it was. But this is the custom. Please ask him. Thursday night, Rav Nebenzahl was a real disciple of the rabbi, spoke in his yeshiva, Yeshivat Netiv, in the old city, and he said, do you think the rabbi and his wife agreed on everything? And he says, definitely not. But every disagreement was on the issue, not on the personality. Not you say you don't know what you're talking about. I was looking to buy. You think we need this? And think about it. Think about it. Oh, and that this type of disagreements, the Gemara gives you a very simple solution. Remember, we have already a pre-notion because of all the jokes that people make and this and that, yes? In the 1967 war, Shivat Mir in Yerushalayim, which today is one of the biggest in the world, yes? The building of the yeshiva was mamash at the border. I remember it because my father's grandfather, Saba Shimon, was right there. Of course, there was no shelter in the Jordanian Turkey. Understand that hundreds of members of the yeshiva went to the basement. It was not really a shelter, but and they said Tehillim, and everything you can imagine. When the war was over, of course, after the miracle of 67, I made a Seudat Hoda'ah. Rosh Yeshiva Rabbi Shmulevitz spoke. Listen what he said. He said, Yaakov is working 7 years for Rachel. You can imagine how eager she is to get married and he is. And the night of the wedding, to protect her sister from a public humiliation, she told her certain secrets. Yaakov was the Simanim, and Yaakov is unaware. Now, if you have to analyze what she did, good, she's an angel. Angel is not in the description. But she basically committed suicide. The man is working for you 7 years. You care very much for your sister. Perhaps Yaakov will never marry you. Because Yaakov would not talk to you anymore. She did. Listen carefully. After Leah has Reuben, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda. Then she gives herself to Zilpah, to Yaakov, who's another child. Then, Vayizkor Elokim et Rachel, and she is pregnant with Yosef. Every time it says in the text, Vayizkor, Shemet to remember something special. What did he remember? It says Rashi Zachar Simanim Shemasra Le'achotah. You hear this? Shem remembers that 5 years ago she wanted to save her sister. Here we thought that when she did it, she basically committed suicide in the future. Nothing will come out of you. The reason why you became a mother of yourself is because of what you did. Which means if a person has koach havitur, to be mevater on something that he wants very much for another person, the results are against all the odds. So listen good. Rabbi Shmulevitz said it in the small Seudat Hoda'ah of the yeshiva. Then listen what he says now. Near the yeshiva over there in Beit Israel, there was a lady that her husband left her without a get. She has little kids. She has to support herself. So she used to collect on Friday or whatever all the laundry of the boys. She used to wash it, fold it. This is how she made money. She made money too. Very hard. I mean, you realize this is before wash machines. This she didn't have a wash machine. And Rabbi Shmulevitz says, while we were saying Tehillim, screaming Tehillim, to be saved from the Arabs, I heard a woman, this woman says, Hashem, אני סולחת לכולם, אני סולחת גם לבעלי, שבייש אותי, גרם לי כל כך הרבה צרות, please have mercy on us. Says Rabbi Shmulevitz, what she did is exactly what Rachel did. Says, can you imagine every day that she has to wash laundry of other people? She remembers he didn't give her a get, and she's willing to forgive. Says Rabbi Shmulevitz, in my opinion, this act of forgiving is equal to what Rachel did. Was at least half of all of our thinking together. זה נקרא כוח הוויתור. כוח הוויתור. To forgive and forget.
I think Rabbi Frant has a long tape many years ago about Vatranut. He says you have to be a Vatran. And I remember it, it's so many years ago. But look the other way and forget all this Narishkeit.
But it's based on that. I have, fortunately or unfortunately, the Chazon Ish was the biggest of all. Okay, so they came in the last 20, 25 years, some books. Steinman died a few years ago, and since then, many books came and became more sophisticated. Pages and pages and pages. You have stories, this is his grandchildren, that he used to tell people, you are right. But forgive and forget, and you cannot lose. And he said, I'm an old man, אף פעם לא ראיתי אדם שמוותר ומפסיד. It's very easy for me to say, of course, because I wrote it for the book. But in real life, it's very difficult. In real life, it's very, very difficult. Because we are so upset, so angry, that subconsciously we're looking for revenge. Rabbi Steinman used to say, Baruch Hashem here in Bnei Brak, we have few Batei Din for Dinei Mamonot. Monetary disputes. Neighbors, each other, landlord. He says if all these Batei Dinim would be cancelled, people would learn to forgive each other, there's no doubt in my mind that Mashiach would come. This is really Be'emet. This is what Shivasa B'Tammuz is about. Of course, we have to say that tomorrow, by the way, we'll start probably a little late because if Slichot, and this will be probably 7:25, 7:30. But the idea is to say, but to remember. And this is what to remember is. Look at the situation in Israel, how fragile it is. Look by us here. Here the world is interested, Ricky, tonight there is a game also, you know, Ricky? And remember, the masses of the people need opium, as Stalin used to say, yes? But we are the selected ones. You should know that if you read books from the past, good Christians in America, many of them were very much involved in. They understood of kindness and chesed. But bias has to be in the very. Okay, the Hasidim know how to do it. Many, many years ago, we had two kids in Flatbush that graduated. One went to law school. Anyway, his parents were Russians, he became religious, and his wife didn't get along so much with the parents. She got married, all the friends came, it was very nice. But no one really made Shabbat Brachot. So I told my wife, come. I called him up and said, let's go out to a restaurant. Okay? He said, schmoozy. Really, it was באמת משמח, חתם וקרה. Towards the end of the Birkat Hamazon, I went to the owner of the restaurant and I whispered, this is a fresh bride and a groom. They just got married. He says, in Yiddish, why didn't you tell me? He was yelling at me. He says, he's waiting. Take out more cake, take out, this is on the house. Then he goes outside, come in. You need a million here. I mean, I was very touched here. A second ago, I just told him, he really felt the bride and the groom for like $1 million. People came in, we had the people, we said Sheva Barachot, we dance with the people. But Mamash, you pay whatever you ordered, it's fine. It says to the waiters, what do you have? You have ice cream, this, take out. Why do you do it? A young Jewish couple is getting married, someone has to make them happy. So this is, if you read always good between the lines in Chumash, between the lines in the Rambam, numerous times, between the lines in the Navi, wherever you look, this is the message. But again, without real Torah mitzvot, there's no way to refine and to direct our ego in the right direction. But Torah and Chesed has to be. We go here in Borough Park in 11th Avenue, we have a geriatric, old people. My wife's aunt was there, so I came there to make a dish for her. Here before Shabbat, I see Chassid, but dressed, two little kids, son and a daughter, coming in with two baskets. And fresh cake and fresh kugel from old man to old man. I give you Shabbos, and I give you a piece of kiddush, and I give you a piece. And the old people, I mean, really, this is how you see this son and daughter will never forget it. Yes, every Friday my mother used to bake, used to make a kugel. This is what we have. Bezrat Hashem tomorrow night. We learn regularly. When is the first over by you, Sarim? By you means Sephardi.
Right.
Not,
It does 20 minutes. It's 20 or 30 minutes.
Rabbi Yaakov said 9:08 or 9:06.
That's late. It's 8:30 sunset.
According to
No,
our
no,
Chambado, 8:50.
8:50.
8:50, that's right, that's right.
Sorry.
8:50, 8:55, gotta find somewhere in that range.
20 minutes after sunset.
By Ashkenazim, it's 40 minutes. Rabbi Feinstein says on the first day, not Yom Kippur, it's 40 minutes. If the sun is setting tomorrow in New York, when 8:40?
That's how we hold Shabbat, usually. It's about 40, 42 minutes, something like that.
By regular Shabbat, it's a minimum of 50. And the first day,
No, I don't think we do 50. We do 40, 42.
I do not 40. So have a meaningful fast and Bezrat Hashem tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Laila Tov, everyone.
Have an easy fast. Bye.
Easy, meaningful.